Hello students, we'll talk about communication research today. Communication research is a very important area of studies and it is taught all over the world. You see, there was a time when research were practiced only in subjects like chemistry and physics. It was part of the laboratory sciences. But in 19th century, with the publication of Charles Darwin's Origin of Human Species, a number of social scientists believed that if the method of sciences are used in social sciences, it will have better results. And therefore, after that, almost every subject in the area of social sciences is dependent on research, whether you talk of economics or political science or sociology or now communication research. And therefore, communication research is I said in the beginning, it's a very important area of studies. In what follows, we'll see in detail the nature, types, and the importance of research conducted in the area of communication. The whole of discussion is focused on four aspects. The first is the conceptual understanding. The second is debate over research in social sciences. Third will talk of different types of research conducted in the area of social sciences and mainly qualitative and quantitative research. And last will involve a discussion and a brief discussion on the importance of communication research. So far as conceptual understanding is concerned, we'll take up the cases only two things. First of all, communication and then research. What is communication? Communication refers to a process of transmission or communication of ideas from one point to another point, from one individual to another individual, or from one group to another group. It means in this entire process there is a sender and there is a receiver. Somebody is sending the information and somebody is receiving. Secondly, whenever there is a communication, there has to be some kind of mediums, either in the form of symbol or some channels like print, television, or any kind of social media. There was a time when it was done with the help of letters or telegrams or telegraphs. And the third aspect related to this conceptual understanding is the fact that research, it is not only source of information, but it is a source of entertainment and also mobilization also. So communication has emerged as a great source of not only information and entertainment, but also mobilization. Coming over to research, will make it very clear in the beginning that it is basically a quest for knowledge. Research is conducted for enhancing our understanding of the things, and this quest of knowledge may involve discovery of some new facts or figures, or rediscovery or modification in the old established theory or facts. But all said and done, scientific research aims at establishing a kind of cause and effect relationship between two phenomena, A and B. For example, if somebody is interested in knowing what is the reason behind large number of suicide by farmers in Maharashtra, what could be the reasons? So when we come to the conclusion that it is because of poverty that farmers are committing suicide, it will be established that poverty is the reason and the effect is this suicide by the farmer. So there is a relationship between a cause and effect. This after this conceptual understanding of these two terms, a third dimension related to this whole issue is several characteristics of a scientific research. Once a scientific research will be a research in the true sense of the term. In the true sense of the term, a research will be a scientific research only when it has the features of verification. When, if it is whatever it is saying, suppose there is a theory and it says that A produces B. If in all the circumstances A is producing B, and if it can be verified in all the circumstances, then only its theoretical understanding will be accepted. Similarly, another feature of this scientific research is accuracy. Any research, any result conducted by research, any theory established, done on the basis of scientific research has to be accurate. It has to be very precise. Similarly, accuracy and precision. Scientific research is also systematic and it is objective. So far as research in social science, this is another issues in the whole discussion, and that has been very important issue, and it has been debated time and again. The first thing is related to positivist emphasis on use and adaptation of scientific method in the area of social sciences. I said in the beginning that in the 19th century, with the publication of Darwin's book, Origin of Human Species, there was a feeling among social scientists that if we social scientists adopt the scientific method in the area of social sciences in subject like economics and history, we'll also get objective results. We'll also get accurate results. We also get better results. And therefore, people like Comm, Spencer, and Durkheim, they all emphasize that let us have a positivist outlook, mean thereby that scientific method must be employed in social sciences. The second important issue related to the whole this debate is the debate on the objectivity in the area of social science. A number of social scientists, people like Max Weber and Karl Mannheim, had raised the issue whether objectivity is possible in the area of social science. Despite our best efforts, can be sure of 100% accuracy in the area of social sciences? This was the question raised by a number of social scientists. But the fact remains, that is the third aspect, and which is very important, and the students should mainly focus on this area. So this is the fundamental difference between a research conducted in the area of natural sciences in subject like physics and chemistry or in the laboratory sciences, and on the other hand in the area of social sciences in subject like economics and sociology. The fundamental difference between these two blocks, that is natural sciences and social sciences, lies in the fact that whereas in the area of natural sciences, that is laboratory sciences, physics and chemistry, the scientists have a complete control over the phenomena under study. For example, if we want to test whether H2O means 2 units of hydrogen and 1 unit of oxygen is producing water or not, you can test it. Since you have complete control of the phenomena under study within the laboratory, you can have 2 units of hydrogen and you can select 1 unit of oxygen, and you can test it whether it is producing water or not. But on the other hand, in the area of social sciences, this situation is not there. There is no control. There is no control over the social phenomena. Social phenomena is very fluid. You cannot be very sure whether in all circumstances the upper caste or the Brahmins are going to vote for the BJP or not. You can say that now, after the rise of BJP and emergence of Narendra Modi in politics today, the entire upper caste and Brahmins and other upper caste groups, particularly in part of this country are voting for BJP, but you cannot be sure of this in all the circumstances and every time and in each and every part of the country. And that is there lies the difference between these two sciences. Now, there is a third issue that is related to types of research. There could be several types of research. That depends on the types of logic we have. But generally, and which is very common, there is a very common classification, and that is called a classification between quantitative and qualitative research. And this I would request my students to keep this in mind, because this the difference between quantitative research and qualitative research is very, very important. And every subject, practice these two types of research. So what is the difference between qualitative research and quantitative research? What is quantitative research and what is qualitative research? Quantitative research, as the name itself suggests, gives emphasis on numbers. When we talk of GDP and GNP, when we talk of percentage, when we talk of per capita income, we are talking of numericals, and therefore we are indulging in quantification. We are doing quantitative kind of analysis. On the other hand, if our approach is thematic, we are more interested in knowing what is the sentiment, what is the background of the people, what kind of feeling the widows are having, what kind of feeling the tribal people are having about the outsider. We are indulging in thematic analysis. We are not indulging in numerical analysis. Therefore, in this case, we are talking of qualitative research. We would like to make this difference evidently clear with the example, with one example. Suppose if we say that majority of the students in our class are girls, we are making a qualitative statement. We are saying that majority students in our class are girls. But once we say that this majority is 70%, 70% of students in the class are girls, we are practicing quantitative approach, and because we are making it specific, 70%, we are pointing out the percentage of the students in the class, and that is 70%. So the difference of numerical versus thematic. And students, I would like to point out at this juncture that these points which have been highlighted in red colors, this has been done with the intention of making it easier for you, so that you could make it, keep it in your mind. So the moment you see this numerical versus thematic, you'll come to understand that we are talking about quantitative, difference between quantitative and qualitative research. And this example of 70% students versus majority of students in the class will make it evidently clear. The second difference between these two types is the difference of objective versus subjective. When we talk of quantitative research, we are indulging in objective analysis. But when we talk of qualitative research, we are talking of subjective analysis. Similarly, quantitative research is precise. 70% of students is a precise statement, is a very specific statement. But on the other hand, the term majority is not very precise. It is vague, it is complex. Majority may be 70%, majority may be 69, 68. So it is not precise. Similarly, this quantitative research is predictive in nature. It is predictive. For example, after the election, when we go for post-poll analysis, we can come to the conclusion that the Congress party or BJP is going to have at least 120 to 130 seats in the parliament. But this kind of 100% predictability is not possible in the case of qualitative research. If we are indulging in the analysis of the status of women in India, we cannot say with certainty that 90% of women in this country are happy now as compared to their situation in the 70s. The next same things has been repeated again. It is a difference of a statistical analysis and interpretative analysis. Quantitative research is based on a statistical analysis, and qualitative research is based on interpretation, thematic explanation. So far as research is concerned, quantitative research will involve several large number of respondents. You see, when we go for research based on household, for example, national sample surveys, when the agents of national sample survey go for data collection, they conduct each and every household because they have to count the number of people in each and every household, the number of people, their education background, their economic background, the income, and other kind of information. Therefore, since you have to contact each and every household and you need to have greater details, you need to have more respondents. But this cannot be said in the case of qualitative research. In qualitative research, you can depend on few respondents. Similarly, in the case of quantitative research, you need to have closed type questions. Closed type questions means either yes or no. Are you married? Not married. This is closed type answer. The respondent doesn't have a third choice. But in the case of qualitative research, you need to have open-ended question. You have to give freedom to the respondent, so that because you want to know the inner part of his life, inner part of his feeling. It is a thematic interpretation. The next is the difference of subjects. There are certain subjects which basically dependent on quantitative research, particularly subjects like economics and statistics. These two subjects particularly are subjects which are dependent on quantitative research. But subjects like sociology or anthropology, political science, or even history, these are the subjects which are qualitative in nature. And you see, the differences also can be understood in terms of situation. If there is a need of understanding poverty in India, we need to have quantitative approach, because if we need to measure the kind of poverty level, we need to have different grades, and therefore we need to have the idea of what is the population of the country and what is the population of the country in different, state-wise, then per capita income, the landed property, distribution of landed property. These are the things which need to be understood with the help of quantitative research. But so far as there are several other issues, like issues related to widow problem, you cannot have a quantitative research of sensitive issues like widow or tribal issues. You need to have these are very sensitive issues, and only qualitative approach will be useful in such areas. Now coming over to the last section of this whole debate, why to study communication is what is the importance of research in communication? Importance of research in communication lies in so many areas. First of all, it is important, and here lies its importance, because it helps us in developing in the better insight of the whole issues. For example, as I said in the beginning, if we want to understand the issues related to farmer suicide, we need to go for proper research, and this proper research will involve location of area, sample size, then kind of questions you need to raise before these farmers, kind of information you need to have from those households which have witnessed suicide. So these kind of things, and once you do this research, once you complete this research, you will have a better understanding of the whole issues. You'll come to realize that why, after all, these farmers on larger scale are committing suicide, and more cases are coming from a particular area of Maharashtra.